Okay, I'm continuing on with this Brett Baer interview of DOGE with Musk and some of his cohorts that are messing around in our federal government. This guy's name is Brad Smith. Now, he's been around rural hospitals, he's been in the health industry for a long time. I'm not going to try to give you a bio on him or anything, but he should know what he's talking about. But he's lying his ass off. Now, as I've said before, when these guys start doing this stuff, they are not trying to save money. They're not trying to make things more efficient. They're trying to destroy these federal agencies, including NIH and National Institutes of Health. So listen to this guy talk about research.
Brad Smith, working at HHS, and obviously another element is Medicare and Medicaid, NIH. What are you finding?
Yeah, well, I'd say there's a couple of things we're really committed to in our work at HHS. Number one, making sure we continue to have the best biomedical research in the world. And number two, making sure, which President Trump has said over and over again, that we 100% protect Medicare and Medicaid. But there's a lot of opportunity. So if I take NIH as an example, today, if you're an NIH researcher and you get a $100 grant at your university, today you get to spend 60 of that and your university spends 40 of that. The policy that we're proposing to make is that you get to spend 85 of that and your university spends 15. So that's more money going directly to the scientists who are discovering new cures.
This one, someone close to me is involved in this type of work, this research work. And so I talked to this person about it. That 60-40, the researcher gets 60, the university gets 40. None of that stuff's true. That's just a bunch of crap. There isn't anything like that. When there's a grant goes to a college, then the college is almost always using people that are at the college. Most of these grants, they may there's grants available out there, and so this person that's close to me would actually write up the grants and, for what they wanted to do, the type of work they wanted to do. And then when they had done that, they submit that to the university. Now, the university then looks at it, and the university puts it out and says, okay, we're applying for this grant to do such and such and such and such. And there is no splitting up of anything. The person that's doing a grant, that'll actually do the grant, is going to be an employee of the university. They get their pay, as they would normally get, but they hire grad students, they use labs, they use all the equipment that is there in the university, and the university pays for flights and lodging and whatever else that they need, but the researcher just submits what they need, 8 graduate students, for 4 months or, something like that, whatever it is. But this guy is talking about there's some kind of a 60-40, now we're going to go 85-15. None of that stuff is true. There isn't any pay for the researcher because the researcher is an employee of the university. They work for the university. Now, there have been cases where there's outside researchers come in, but that's very uncommon because if a university gets a grant, they're really not going to want to take someone from the outside and have them do the grant. They're going to keep it in-house. So that whole pile of crap was just a pile of crap. And really, I think what the guy was trying to do, what they're actually trying to do, is destroy the university grant system. I'm not sure why. If you told universities that they could only charge 15% of what a grant costs, first of all, it doesn't even make any sense because there is nothing like that. But if you told them that the use of their facilities was only worth about 15% of what this grant would be, they couldn't do any of it. The vast majority of the money that's spent on pursuing these grants is done by the university. So what he's talking about there's no bearing on that at all. Not even sure why this guy's talking about it, because it doesn't exist. These guys, it's all smoke and mirrors, guys. They are trying to turn us into a third world country is what they're trying to do. Because we established these things because we were kind of on top of the heap, so to speak, after World War II. And we established these things to continue to stay on top. They're, for whatever reason, I have no idea, they're trying to put us on the bottom. And that's it on this one.